Hi, I'm Jamie, and welcome to SciFi Vision for August 12th for our episode of Fandom Access. We have what tonight? Revival, the finale of Resident Alien, the last two episodes of Sandman, and you guys have Star Trek, which I still haven't seen. So, but welcome everybody. Thanks for coming. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Haven't seen it, but not going to see it, right? You're not going to watch that.
Yeah, no, I don't have time to. I watch too many things, and I don't know enough about Star Trek that I could probably follow it anyway, to be honest. So,
it's the third season.
Yeah, and in the third season, that's true as well. But thank you, everybody, for coming. Please, if you haven't, make sure you like the video and subscribe to SciFi Vision and check out all our lives on the live stream and videos on the video tab. And if you missed our interview earlier tonight with Julian Richings, who plays Stackhouse on the Institute, you can still stream that. And we might have some more stuff coming up, so just stay tuned and make sure you join our Discord for all of our updates. And I'm going to put the link in the chat because I forgot to do that. But anyway, hi, guys.
Hi. Long time no see.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. All right, so what are we going to... We're going to start with... What are we starting with? Resident Alien? Because
it looks like she's got a picture of Dr. Ethan up, so.
Yeah, I just picked something to put up
right.
and start with. That's fine.
All right. Well, since that was a series finale, we'll start with that.
Sounds good.
I really like this episode, you guys. I think they stuck the landing. What do you think?
Absolutely.
I actually thought, and I think I said this to you guys earlier somewhere when I was talking to you. I actually think this, in terms of finales, was pretty perfect. I really liked it. I think that they did a really good job of wrapping everything up, of giving, not that everything had to be happy, but I mean, they gave good endings to all the characters. They had them say goodbye, but they left it kind of open so they can go on. I don't know. I just really liked it. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I feel like even if SciFi was big, hey, you know what? We changed our mind. We want season 5. They can just, Max can hit the little doodad button and, Harry comes back. They call Asta and, back to hijinks. Not that I think that's going to happen, but I'm just saying it was done in a way.
It felt a little bit like an add-on. Like I talked to you guys the other day. I said I thought last week's episode felt really like a season finale where everything gets kind of wrapped up, but then in the last shot, almost Asta opens her eyes and says they're here, right? And to me it feels almost like they shot that season. They have a season finale, kind of small cliffhanger. They get canceled, and then they get one more episode to wrap it up. It's just kind of how it felt to me, because like this episode felt very. It felt like a coda, right? Like, and we had this sort of new kind of mystery that gets wrapped up in 5 minutes. The whole bit where Asta's like, oh, somebody's here. There's a new alien here. He's come to, it's basically Harry's entire, 4-season trajectory from landing on and kill everybody to becoming like human and everything.
Yeah.
And then this guy goes through it, and Dr. Ethan goes through it in one episode. But you know what? Just 1 second, Jamie. It felt okay to me because, we've talked about other kinds of series finales where, like, it can maybe not make total sense, but can be very emotionally satisfying, and that's what this was for me.
I was going to say, I feel like it made, like, I agree with you. We didn't necessarily need it, but I feel like it made sense because the whole show was about, Harry's people are want to kill everybody and destroy the planet, and even if Harry didn't do the job, I think they had said something in the past about how somebody else would come to do it. So I liked it because it was a way of saying, yes, they might. And maybe they have before, but, the Earth is a good place and they can decide not to. And I don't think that it necessarily, I see what you're saying, but I don't feel like he went through all that in one episode. I think it was just showing that the same thing could happen to him and that they didn't have to worry about it because he would be changed like Harry was. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was overly happy. It wasn't, like I said, it was nice that it gave everybody happy endings. It maybe was a little saccharine in that way, but I like that for a series finale.
Yeah. it was satisfying, like, I mean, okay, we always go back to we don't always, but the finale of Lost, so controversial, and there's so many people that were so mad about not getting answers to everything, and then there was a lot of people who, like, I was one of them, who just like cried in that episode and felt like so emotionally like fine, like it really wrapped it up okay on the emotional level, and this kind of did that, right? And it's funny that this show that I watched for, I didn't always like this show as much as you guys, as much as Jamie did, and AJ also.
I remember specifically you saying you weren't crazy about the 12-year-old humor.
Yeah.
And what do we get in the finale? We get some serious 12-year-old humor with the ball set.
We do. But this show was sometimes a little too broad and a little too dopey for me, right? And 12-year-old humor. And in the end, they wrap it up, and the show was all about love. The message of the show is love for your fellow humans, right? The love that's inherent in humans. I'm like, would I ever have thought like that's the message of the show way back in season 1?
Yeah, probably not. I was curious though what the opening is supposed to represent. Like I don't know if that's something from the comic or if maybe that's like all the people that work on the show or something, but I feel like there's some message behind it. I mean, and other than to say humans are good and humans, I don't know. It was a little weird for the opening. I just was kind of curious if there was more meaning to it other than humans are good. Yeah.
I'm sure if you Google it, you'll find something.
Yeah. I didn't look. I probably should have, but that was definitely different for the opening because I love how they always have that crazy opening and it worked.
Yeah.
As Harry always does.
When it ended, and it was all, the show's all about love. I feel like we just watched another show where at the end it was like, oh, the message of the show was love, and I forget what show was that? Lost, yeah. But another show that we watched recently that in the end it was all about love, another sci-fi show. It'll come to me. I was thinking of it today. It'll come to me as we're talking. But I thought it was a great ending. And I think like, okay, I get what you're saying. Like the network could, like if somebody wanted to restart the show, they left it in a place where they could do that, but I think the story is complete and doesn't.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's going to happen. I'm just saying.
No, I don't think it's going to happen.
I mean, I'd say my one disappointment was that Linda Hamilton didn't make an appearance in the finale.
There's really no way she could, though.
I know.
Being in the past.
Oh, because she went to the past. Right. Yeah, yes. Because she's gone to live in the past with her father. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So you're right. It would be a big stretch for the story to bring her back in any way.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I forgot about that. But still, she's the only character who maybe a major character who didn't. I mean, major. She, I think she plays a major. But yeah, her storyline wrapped up pretty well. But yeah, I think it's all wrapped up nicely. It doesn't. I'm not. I don't need to know how these characters go with their normal lives for the rest of their lives. It was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah. Me too.
All right.
Yeah. So everybody got, I guess, really some kind of ending because we knew that. I don't know why it was though that they decided Asta needed to leave. I mean, I guess it's just because she's always being so helpful to everybody. But
I think it fit her character. I mean, she's lived her whole life there and never left, and she's always there for everybody else. Now she's finally going to be there for herself. So it made perfect sense for us.
It makes sense, but I guess I'm saying it's like it was surprising to me, like it just happened all of a sudden. There was no build up to it.
I'm a little leaning on Jamie's direction. They just kind of whipped it up in the last couple episodes that Asta needed to leave town. Okay, Asta's lived there her whole life, but she's such a caretaker and nurturing person. And to me, it was totally in character to stay in her hometown for her whole life and not want to leave the reservation nearby. And for her to suddenly be like, I've never done anything. I've got to go. I think they whipped it up a little bit out of kind of, to me, it came from nowhere, but it made sense. It didn't not fit. It wasn't a not good ending for her.
The way they did. Sorry, Karen, I thought you were done.
No, she just didn't. To me, I didn't see her express any kind of wanderlust or any feeling. I think Asta feels good when she takes care of others. I don't think it's draining for her. I think it's nourishing for her to care for others.
Yeah, I think it's when her dad made the comment when she was like, "What do you mean? Like I can do stuff?" It was kind of juxtaposed with her telling him, "Hey, go do stuff, go have fun," and then and then he comes back and he's like, "Well, you never do anything either," and she's like, "I do stuff," and it was kind of just like an epiphany,
Yeah, you're right. She was like, "Hey, you're right. I don't do stuff."
I guess I look at it more like a vacation is one thing, but to all of a sudden decide to uproot your life when it was out of, like, at least to me, felt out of nowhere. Like I know what you're saying and I get that, but to me it would have made more sense if she was like, "Hey, I'm leaving for a month. I'm gonna go, help these people," and instead of being like, "Oh, I'm moving across the world" or whatever. It was kind of a big jump, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't like I agree with Karen. Like, it's not that it didn't make sense. It just seemed a little sudden to me.
I mean, I'm glad in the end she took a job, because I was like, she's going to go live in Amsterdam and take 6 months off. And I was like, you never have any money. Like, she and Darcy never have any money. Right? And so I'm like, oh, you need a job, girl. You can't just go live in Amsterdam and change your name to Stacy and get a job in a coffee shop.
Yeah, what was up with that? That was funny. Yeah. And then we also had this thing with Jay where she got upset, which that makes sense. I mean, Jay's kind of like a typical, I don't need you, and then you're leaving, and it does need her, obviously. And I really liked, and granted this part was later in the episode, but I really liked her Asta giving her the letters and showing that she's been writing her every year for how long, and that she did the whole time. She never forgot about her, and I don't think Jay sometimes thinks about that. She's been waiting to be her mother, wanting to be her mother, and finally is, and that she means a lot to her, whether she moves away or not.
I mean, I forgot about her. We haven't seen her in a while, and I mean, I'm glad they brought her in, because I forgot about Jay, and when then they brought her to this episode, and like, oh yeah, she is such a part of Asta's storyline and Asta's growth, right? But Jay, we haven't seen in a long time. We didn't see her at all this whole season, right? Except for this episode.
Exactly.
No, we've seen her.
For beginning of the season. But to be fair, Asta's usually busy taking care of Harry, who's more of a child than Jay. So
Jay was adopted. Jay has parents.
No, I know she does. I'm just making a bad joke that didn't work, apparently. But yeah, I don't know. I just liked it because it was a big part of the storyline, and she was somebody who's really important to Asta. And I think we needed to see that kind of wrapped up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we have, I can never remember her name.
Judy.
I don't know why I forget her name all the time. She's one of my favorite characters. I still forget her name. We talked about this last week, but I really, really, really wanted her to either find out about Harry or have already known about Harry. And she had nothing to do with that part of the storyline. And that was a little disappointing, because I was really hoping there would be.
That would have been fun. That would have been Judy. Harry's an alien. Yeah, I know. Doesn't everybody know?
Yeah. That would have been great. So that post credit scene lives rent free in my head, I think. So, but yeah, she was kind of only there to say, hey, Asta could see the future. I mean, that was pretty much the whole point of her scene. Well, that, and that she's taken over Asta's place she's living. She's going to move on in. Whether Darcy's good with it or not, I think she's already.
She has an important scene. She has an important bit later. She starts dancing with Ethan.
Yeah, she cozies up to Ethan. She's kind of a man-eater, Judy, right? And she cozies right up to Ethan.
That's funny. I can't tell from some of the pictures. I don't remember what everything there was.
Oh.
A lot about. I can't remember. Was this the part about Liv being over the aliens? Because that was from the episode before we saw.
No, this is when Mike tells her that she looks tired, and she's like, "Don't tell me I look tired. Never tell a woman she looks tired."
Okay.
He's like, "You can tell me if I look tired, because I'd want to know that, but I never get tired."
I never get tired. Yeah.
I'm not a night owl or day owl. I'm a what the hell do you call himself?
He says, I'm not nocturnal, and he
I'm dayturnal.
I'm dayturnal. Yeah.
And he
never
says,
sleeps, I guess.
He even says, I know it's diurnal, but I just call it dayturnal. He goes on one of his crazy rants.
Yeah. But no, she wants to arrest Harry because he killed the real Harry.
And I do appreciate that they kept that storyline in there, because I think we had kind of talked about this, I don't remember when, a couple weeks ago. The fact that, yeah, I mean, Harry did kill somebody, and yes, he's a good guy now, but it should at least be addressed that happened. Just like this guy Ethan killed somebody to get in his body.
It does appear that the second alien's craft crashed on top of Ethan, right? Like,
yeah, because the Men in Black shot him down.
Harry really murdered Harry in a way.
Yeah, Harry definitely murdered him,
right? Like Ethan kind of crash landed on top of Ethan.
Yeah. Which wasn't the original Harry though. He wasn't a great guy, right? I'm trying to remember.
No, he killed Sam.
He killed Sam. Okay, so yeah, bad to begin
with. Which annoyed me that later on, after he pisses Mike off, Mike had every reason to be pissed off. I completely felt for Mike there, and the scene later with everybody. No, the scene with everybody. When Harry comes in and he's like, the alien's here, and they're all like, yeah, we all know. Asta already told us.
Yeah.
When everybody starts defending him, when Mike wants to arrest him.
Yeah.
And I was, the one part of the defense that they didn't say that kind of annoyed me was, you want to arrest Harry for being a killer, but the person he killed Sam. So they could all go, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah, the original.
I had forgotten about that too. You guys brought it up. So
the original Harry killed Sam.
Yeah,
that was like.
Sorry, go ahead.
That was like the entire first season was like the mystery of who killed Sam and Harry trying to hide it.
I was just gonna say though, I totally agree with what you said, that Mike had a right to be mad at him, like, for screwing with his memories. But I kind of felt bad for Harry a little bit too, because he didn't do it to hurt Mike. Like, he was giving him a good memory, and he's still learning. And I kind of felt bad because he just got so mad about it. But I really like how they.
I know. I mean, that's a violation.
I understood.
But if you remember, we had a problem with Harry messing with their minds. Back then, we were not okay with that.
Yeah, we did. But I mean, he didn't do it to hurt him. He did it to give him a good. Well, he did it for other reasons too. But he also tried to give him a good memory. But so I understand him being mad, but Harry's trying, and I love that Harry, like Asta's like, you can fix this. But Harry figured it out on his own how to fix it. That's what I like. Like, he understood finally. Like, he finally got it. He understood why it hurt Mike, and he fixed it. And I love that.
I appreciated that, but Mike wasn't wrong when he was like, yeah, it was my greatest memory until you just told me that it's not even real. Like, maybe don't tell him that. Let him keep thinking whatever. Or own up to I mean, he didn't even do it for Mike or Liv when he did it. He did it for himself because they found out.
Yeah, he did it to protect himself. He didn't do it to try to make Mike's relationship with his father better. He did it to cover up for missing time.
I just meant, like, he could have given him any memory. He tried to give him something happy. It wasn't like he.
Oh my God, that's like saying, like, I'm going to murder you, but I'll make it fast, and I won't draw it out.
He didn't do it for the right reasons, and he was wrong for doing it. I agree with you. I'm just saying, like, I liked that Harry at least, like, had some forethought, I guess, to try to make it something happy. But I understand that obviously it was not a good thing. I'm just saying, like, I kind of felt a little bit bad for Harry in that sense, because he wasn't trying to hurt him. He may have did the wrong thing, but he didn't do it to hurt.
I mean, Sigsbee is not trying to hurt children. She just has to torture them for the good of the United States, right? Like, I'm just not agreeing with you. I personally did not feel bad for Harry. With all of this said, I thought Mike overreacted a little, or I thought that maybe they just portrayed his reaction as a little too vehement and violent on the screen. It was jarring for me to see Mike, like, really react so aggressively. I'm not saying he shouldn't be mad, but it was like a little jarring to me how vehemently they portrayed that in that scene.
I think that's very fitting with Mike's character. Mike overreacts all the time. Well, yeah, he's an asshole sometimes, but he overreacts a lot too.
I know, but he overreacts humorously a lot. This was a very
this was dark. This was not humorous in any way, shape, or form.
Out of character for him a little bit. It was pretty raw there.
I don't know though. I mean, I felt like it was. If anything, he forgave. Harry made up for it, but I feel like he almost forgave him a little too quickly because I mean, think about for a second. You have the best memory. You know, you have an estranged relationship with your father.
Mm-hmm.
The best memory you've ever had in all that time with your father isn't real.
But didn't he actually make it better? Because the way that I look at it is Mike, because Mike's a dumbass at times. I'm just saying. He didn't like interact with his father as much because he thought that he had fixed it and he didn't need to work on his relationship, everything, because he had this happy memory. But I kind of feel like by him finding out it wasn't real, it also maybe made him realize that he should be spending time with his father, and he may change now because of that. I mean, Harry gave him a new good memory, but it also is making him understand that maybe he should have done that in the first place. That's the way I'm looking at it anyway.
That could be partly it. But
I don't know. And I was just going to say, because I see Debbie's in the chat. Hey, Debbie. Debbie has a channel now. She has some time-lapse paintings on her channel. So everybody should check that out as well. I know she posted it in Discord. Sorry, I just wanted to mention that. Continue. So we get Budget, Mulder, and Scully again. Although, is that the same one who played Scully?
No, she's dead.
She's dead.
She's dead.
Because I didn't not remember her, but I remembered him.
Yeah, no. Budget Scully was evil Scully is dead. She died. She was mean.
Yeah.
But I like they brought him back though. I thought that was funny because we used to always kind of joke about that, and yeah, it was cool to see them. And I really like how they had the whole. I gotta jump ahead some pictures here, but how they had them recruit Mike, and I love that Mike was like, "If I'm gonna work for you, you're bringing Liv too." Like he had no reason to do that other than he knows that it would be awesome for Liv, and
yeah,
I
and then
that. I thought that was really great. And
then that great moment when Liv is like, "The only way I'm doing this is if I can see all the files on fairies," and they're like, "You don't have the clearance for that." And she's like, "That's okay. Doesn't matter. You just admitted that they're real."
I mean, it's nice that they brought it back to a scene I had totally really forgotten about, right? That she that she when she was little saw fairies in the forest or whatever, right? That's what that's calling back to. And I probably could have totally forgotten about that if they hadn't brought it up. So they did a good job of mining season 1 for laughs here.
That whole
a lot of things brought up from other seasons for them to.
The whole Men in Black scene though was great because Mike's like, "You got to accept it because otherwise we're gonna have to kill you because you know too much," and we don't do that here. He's like, "Yes, we do."
No.
And Liz says, "Will you stop encouraging them to kill me?"
Yeah.
You know what though? I gotta say, in the scheme of things, I would love to see a spinoff of the two of them becoming Men in Black, just because it would be so funny.
I
not that we need that, but at least having an episode or something, it would have been cool.
I think a lot of this stuff is better left unexplored.
Yes.
And just out there as an idea that we
make it up in your own mind. Go write some fan fiction, Jamie.
Yeah, I think it's better not explored, and just to be out there as as a beautiful idea. But I tend to be less interested in seeing spin-off and continuation stuff than other people do. I'm like a no shipper, no kids, and no spin-off person. But yeah, they really landed this, and everything, especially from when the moment they crank up the Nicki Minaj in the bar, that whole rest of the episode, that whole scene, and then the goodbye scene at Harry's cabin is just really almost perfect.
Yeah, you know what about the scene in the bar though was I didn't really think about it until it happened. I can't remember a time in this whole show that I've actually seen people happy. Really Asta and Darcy, they're just having a good time for a change. You never really see that in this show. Like
a dance party, fun night.
Yeah,
everybody uses that bar because they're depressed usually.
You know what I think's hilarious though? Harry, who has been here for a while, still dances like a friggin' robot. Ethan, who's been human for about 5 minutes, actually didn't look bad.
Yeah,
maybe that's just a Harry thing, alien Harry thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, Heather acted like a normal human. Ethan acts much more normal. Joseph, of course, was very normal. He was a human hybrid, but like Harry's like stiffness and weird delivery and stuff was like when his father came, his father didn't act like that, right? It is uniquely Harry. I'm not sure why.
Well, I think it's probably his upbringing because we've heard anecdotes about Harry's family. Like,
yeah, I mean,
and then we meet his dad, so it kind of makes sense.
Also, like I think Alan Tudyk developed this character, and like maybe to have more. Like you couldn't, people can't duplicate that. They could walk all stiff, and But
well, yeah. I mean, think about the joke last week with him walking funny.
Yeah.
I was trying to see what else we skipped. That was, I think, the ball sack scene.
That was the ball sack scene,
which was hilarious. And then
it was dumb. It was dumb and juvenile, but I laughed.
Yeah, and we did talk about Jay getting the letter, so that was good.
You know what I find funny about that scene? Like, I don't think that humor is funny. Like, I didn't laugh at like Ballsack, but I laughed at Harry laughing at him. Like when Harry's like, he doesn't say it. Like that's the funny part to me.
No, I agree. That is the funny part.
Yeah, I would agree. But yeah, like I said, I like this scene with Jay. And then I forget he was stealing medicine to kill him, huh? I'm trying to remember what he was stealing medicine for. That was and she finally
it was children's Tylenol.
Yeah, he was gonna overdose him with children's Tylenol. But yeah, then we got Mike. We kind of talked about this already. He got to spend time with his father. I don't know. I just like I said, I looked at it as because of what Harry did now, he will, spend time with him, hopefully.
I don't
remember what the thing was with Kate.
Yeah, well, Kate's going to go back to law full time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was kind of like I could have done with or without. It wasn't super important, but I mean, they all deserve a good ending, I guess. If somebody's going to get it.
And he's and dumbass is going to go to jail for threatening the little girls.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was funny. I like that. She's like,
I'm the mayor, and I will kill you.
Just like they aren't with me. That was great. I did like that.
Those girls were with me.
They were. And then, like I said, Darcy is now helping out this future skier, I guess you could call it, and giving her the advice that maybe somebody should have given her previously. So that she got a good ending as well. And then, the stuff with Liv and Mike we already talked about. And then the board. So, yeah.
Darcy's the least, like, they leave Darcy, like, only 30 days sober at the end of this, right? And her best friend leaving her. Like, Darcy, to me, it's a nice ending that she's getting sober, but Darcy's still on thin ice, I think, as we leave her. But she does have other people around her besides Asta to look out for.
Also, there are phones, she can still talk to Asta. But yeah.
I think for Darcy, though, mentoring this young girl,
I think that'll help her.
It could be, that could help Darcy too.
I'm sorry if I just whatever. That is going to be completely overwhelmed by the tsunami that is living with Judy. Right?
That's true.
No addict who's 30 days sober should move in with Judy.
Listen, Judy. Because Judy said she's moving, it doesn't mean she is.
And
you just stored her encyclopedias there.
Yeah. Her heart's in the right. No, because she said to Asa, "You have to clean your bed. It's full of these long horse hairs."
Yeah.
Judy means well. She's a very bad combo for Darcy, but she is left in a good place. She's going in the right direction, Darcy, at the end there.
Yeah. Very, very
they're all in a good spot.
Yeah. Oops. Sorry about that.
It was good.
Yeah. So then, so we have all the stuff with the bar, and like we said, how they decide that he will start to become human and he won't hurt anybody. Ethan will not.
And it doesn't even happen in one day. He's like by the time he finally figures out how to fix the device, he's like he'll be so human that he won't want to kill them.
Yeah.
He just kind of gives a little push.
Yeah, and I do like, and that's why I said I like too that they make that comment, like there could have been other aliens here before Harry too that became human. So yeah, they're able to change, which I think is kind of the message of the show. And then we get little Bridget with his little
suitcase. His little suitcase.
which is like a coin purse.
Yeah.
And a little backpack.
Yeah. And Harry's getting ready to leave. And then we have, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not even going to try, but them all saying goodbye. And I love that they all came to tell him goodbye. I mean, yeah, he's affected everybody for positive in some way, at least. And yeah, also he stole Ethan's ship, right? Or is that his ship? I was thinking, no, that was on his property.
He says that it's Ethan's ship.
Okay, he did, because that was on his property. I figured
he says it's Dr. Ethan's ship. Okay. I really like that they, brought in a little Native American culture at the end. Again, none of us three are Native, but I think we all agree they've done a good job of of bringing Asta's culture in. And I really liked that, Kayla says, was it Kayla or is it?
It was Kayla.
Says, we're Ute. In the Ute language, we don't say goodbye. We say see you again. And this is the word that
sometime. That's what it is. See you
sometime. And this is the word that she pronounced earlier. And I thought, God, they really didn't have to do that, to have it written on right. That really especially with Harry having had such a transformational experience at the powwow earlier this season. I thought it was great that they brought that in there at the end.
Yeah. Huh. So then we get the ship. That is such a weird looking ship. Pretty cool. Cool design. Yeah, and Aston Harry's goodbye, and there's where he gives Max the remote thingy and tells them goodbye. And yeah, and I love how because they also didn't need to, and I know obviously they paid money to do it because it costs money, how they, I guess that isn't the right picture, but how they took time to show him looking as his alien self as he told Max goodbye. Just to kind of, I don't know, remind us. We know, but I liked that they did that because it wasn't necessary, but I liked that they did that.
Yeah. You know what I thought was a cool shot also when he's in the ship and he looks at his as the alien form, he looks at the reflection and he sees Harry in the we see Harry in the reflection. I thought that was a really cool shot.
Yeah, because he's Harry now too. I mean, he's kind of both.
Now.
Also, I would just
go ahead, Karen.
I would like to say that baby Bella, in this last season, that baby, every scene that baby's in, that baby is that little actor baby is so happy. That baby's always smiling, and I don't know how they did. There's a great scene where Harry is talking when the gang is in the room, and Harry's like, I'm an alien, and they're like, yeah, well, you all know. There's a great scene where Harry says something, I forget what he says, but there's this pause, and the baby dropped the rattle. You couldn't even get a baby to and you hear it thunk on the floor. That baby was so cute and so smiley in every scene, and actors always tell us oh my God, the babies, you can only do a 5-minute take, and then they start crying, and then you have to wait, blah, blah, blah. That baby was awesome. Yeah. Sorry, baby Randall.
No, that's right. I was gonna say, so we see the shot of Harry's ship going to Heather's world, and there was a part of me
kind of wanted it to crash just a little bit.
No, I wanted it to all be audio. Just see a shot of Heather's planet. I want to see his ship, flying into the planet, and then hearing Harry go, Heather, surprise, and having Heather go, oh shit, and hear some dude go, who's he? And have Harry go, son of a bitch.
AJ, you should write for television.
I know it wouldn't have exactly worked for a happy ending, but that would have been funny as shit if Heather was hanging, with some other guy.
Bird boyfriend.
Or maybe even had her father there attacking him or something. It could have been maybe something.
Just to end the show with Harry, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's that's the group scene when Mike was pissed off. Mike's like, this is some bull, and Harry goes, shit, it's bullshit.
That's they leave, and then let's see, we got another shot of them in the ship, and then we have them, and then them saying goodbye, which that was kind of sad, and I liked the whole friendship bracelet, everything, and
you knew damn well she had that bracelet in her pocket the minute asked the brother.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course.
That's cute.
Yeah. All right.
Yep. Yeah.
Right. I think it was. Oh yeah, and then the Harry was here.
Yeah.
I think it was a really good. I liked it. Like I said, I think it was like almost a perfect for a series finale. I really enjoyed it. I would have liked to have seen more. Did we? I mean, is it wrapped up that we don't need more? Yes, but I do like the show, and I would have liked another season. But
but it is what it is.
I mean, they had. I mean, how many? How many more times can there be an existential threat to Earth that Harry has to? Right? Like it had played.
Hey, Karen. To be fair, we've got existential threats to Earth a lot lately.
I know. Yeah, including. Well, never mind. Well, I think it worked because it was focused on not tying up loose. Like the plot has been pretty tied up over the last several episodes, but they didn't have to spend an hour rushing around to like solve mysteries and reveal clues. It was focused on like wrapping up relationships.
Yes, it was about the characters, and that's number one in our repertoire.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Resident Alien, rest in peace.
Yeah.
On to Revival, where they come back from the dead.
Okay. Revival. God, I feel like I watched this so long ago. It was only a few days ago, I think, but it feels like a week ago. So this was episode number, I don't know.
I'm trying to find that. I'm trying to find why it's not showing me.
This is 9.
Episode 9.
Nope, that isn't it. Damn it!
Whoa!
Hold on. It's not showing up the image.
All right, do your thing, and we'll. So
yeah, I'm just trying to figure
out. It's called. This was the second to last episode, and the title was "Mother of Babylon." Right? It's the title of this episode.
Yeah. Let me try reopening
it's pretty. I'm going to put you on. It's a pretty harrowing episode in a lot of ways, right? Like there's the Black Deer investigation, and then there's everything Emma's going through, and they were both pretty harsh storylines. It was a pretty what did you think, AJ, of this episode?
Here's a Prison Break episode for you.
Yeah.
Sure. I thought, I thought it was a great episode. It, I loved all the machinations of it. I loved Dana, kind of coming together with this plan, tricking them into moving things up so that they had the advantage, kind of, gave them home field advantage.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the conversations between Ibrahim and Blaine.
Oh, yeah. 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 I mean, Blaine is a pretty interesting I mean, they just gave Blaine this whole, like, with the Black Deer storyline, they gave Blaine this whole, like, layer of, like, well, they gave him a backstory, right? That is not very good, and isn't really related to his religious fervor. Like in the comic book he's introduced, he has been working as an exorcist, and they do allude to that in this episode, that really his father was like a kind of a charlatan religious leader, right? Like a faith healery kind, like. But they gave him this whole extra layer there that was kind of interesting.
Yeah. I was just going to say, though, it's like Ibrahim really has bad luck, though. Like he just left him there, and Blaine just happens to find him to grab him. His luck is very bad. But at least he didn't have him super long. But yeah, we got this way that we kind of got a little bit more exposition, and I think that it worked out. The one thing, though, I did want to say, because I know I mentioned this the other day, but I love how Dana, when she finds him, she's like, "What are you doing here?" Like he chose to be there. The way she said it, I thought it sounded like
he asks
him there, like he was there on purpose, So that was kind of funny. But yeah, I really like this episode though, because we get more. I mean, we finally find out. We knew from the last episode like what had happened to Rose, but this has a little bit more. Or no, wait, that is the last episode. Okay, sorry, we did 2 episodes when we did the
we reviewed 2 episodes on
Friday. That's why I'm getting mixed up.
Yeah.
This is the breakout or I mean, she M doesn't get broken out right away, but yeah, this is them breaking all the revivers out. So yeah, I like this, and I think that it was cool how they kind of had to all work together. And I mean, we found out a few more things like about the sheriff and the mayor's wife and everything, kind of why there had been kind of that big blow up, but also it really kind of screwed more with his and Dana's relationship, and because they've been blaming themselves so long, and now she finally knows anyway. And then we get a lot of stuff with M, and I feel like M kind of healed a little bit in this episode because she finally got to kind of, I guess, express what she's been holding in, I feel like. So that was a good thing.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm not sure. I think we're going to find out who killed M. I mean, so I feel like we might find out who killed M.
Yeah, Luke said that last week that we would.
We're going to find out. We're going to find out next week.
Oh, we are. Okay.
Yeah,
okay, because I feel like you could or you could not. From what I've seen on the screen, like I could see it being revealed and I could see it being held to next season. But the creator was here and said that it is going to be revealed. I mean, I
feel like if they didn't, people would have been sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just going to say, I feel like you can't keep something like that more than one season and have people satisfied, just because I think it would have been too long to drag it on. I don't know. That's what I feel like.
I mean, it depends on what kind of show you're watching. Like on a show like this, yes.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a murder mystery show, maybe. But
like in Homicide, there's this one murder that haunts the cops for the whole 4 seasons. They can't solve it for the whole 4 seasons of the show, but it's like the backdrop of other cases they're working, right?
Right.
This is can have that. What you can't do is do what was that show we watched where they said the first season they would guarantee tell you who killed this girl, and then they didn't tell you. A show that who killed Rosie? Come on, she was killed in the Indian casino. That tall guy, Joel. Come on, what's the name of that show?
I don't know. You lost me. I'm
trying to remember. So mad that they said it was a 1 season. They would definitely find out who killed this girl, and then you don't find out in the season finale. What's the name of that show? It was on AMC.
I don't know. Do you know what she's talking about?
Yes.
Oh,
an AMC show that made us all so mad.
Oh, we hated that show.
AMC. Yes, we loved it. The Killing. We loved it until we hated it, right?
Yeah. But that, like I said, though, I think
every week
murder mystery compared to like a show that's got a lot of stuff going on. Like it's not.
I mean, this show, M's Murder, is the backdrop. Like, to who murdered her? How was she murdered? Why was she murdered? It's like a. I mean. It's a side story to why did people come back to life, right? And I mean, I know where it's going from reading the comics. Jamie knows because she went on the internet and read spoilers about it.
Not intentionally. I read Wikipedia to get some information on Blaine. I didn't know that I'd accidentally find out about M. That was not intentional at all.
I feel like you can't call that an accident. I feel like
no, it was my fault, but I didn't.
Willful.
I wasn't looking for the answer, but yes, it was 100% my fault. I found the answer.
That's like when people go into the spider cave and then are surprised that a giant spider eats them.
So, Jamie, did you find out that about the creeps, or do you know who killed M?
I found out who killed M, and I found out what the creeps are, which we kind of know in this show.
No, we do not. I don't think we know at all what the creeps are right now.
Well, they haven't outright.
I have a theory.
Let's not talk about it because
I'm not. But those were the 2 things.
Why can't we talk about it? I have a theory. I don't know.
No, we can talk about a theory. We can talk about a theory. What's your theory?
I mean, my theory is that they're souls or something like that, because I thought it was really telling in this episode when Ramin was talking to
Ibrahim?
May. When Ibrahim was talking to May.
Okay.
And he was looking at the Quran, and he like puts it away real quick when she sees him. She's like, she goes, she's like, no, she's like, we have crazy shit going on here. Look for answers wherever you need to. You never know where you're gonna find them. She's like, go back to your soul searching. And he gets this little glint in his eye, and goes back to the Quran. And I was like, they're totally their souls.
Oh.
that was since I have no idea, that was just my.
Let me ask you, Karen. How did you read the whole comics? I'm not sure how you.
I didn't read it to the very. I read a lot of it, but I didn't read it to the very end.
Okay, so you don't know.
I think my comic book store didn't have it.
So do you know?
I mean, I know now because
you know who killed him, though, right?
I know who killed him. I know what the creeps are. I know what happens at the end. I know a lot of stuff that happens in the book that hasn't happened yet. That I don't know if we're going to see it. Like, there's a lot of. I feel like the comic book has a little bit more going on with. I feel like that storyline about like the Czech brothers selling parts to people who like think that the reviver bodies have healing properties. I feel like that's maybe gets a little bit more action in the book. In the book, there are people who are trying to be smuggled into Warsaw because they want to get like their religious pilgrims kind of who want to be near the, Warsaw's on lockdown, who are trying to get in because they want to be near the revivers because they think they can be healed. And there's the political stuff is just ramping up maybe now in terms of like, the governor is militarizing the town and putting them under martial law and stuff. That stuff is just ramping up a little bit.
I think some of that maybe would be, I don't know, season 2 beyond, who knows? But yeah. I will just say, I think that like, even though I felt like I thought I knew what was going to happen, at least part of it, I didn't. And I enjoyed the way that was done, and they surprised me more than once. I think it was a really good finale. That's all I'll say. I don't want to go.
Well, I don't want to talk about the finale because
I'm not. I'm just saying.
I don't want to hear.
I liked it.
I don't even want to know that. I didn't want to know that.
Okay.
Because if you say you didn't like it, then I know, like, oh, that's because maybe stuff, like, yeah.
Okay.
But if you didn't like it, you just wouldn't say anything.
It's a good show. I wouldn't expect to not like it, so I don't know if you would think I would. I
would expect you to be on here like, oh, the finale's really bad. Don't watch it. Like, you're not going to.
No, I mean, it's a good finale. I don't know. I don't consider that spoiling. But
anyway. So AJ, I mean, good theory.
Yeah. So we also have a lot with M and her hallucinations in this episode. Obviously, that's a big part of it. And that's why I was saying, like, I kind of like this because I feel like working through things because she had not, I feel like she was still I mean, maybe she still does blame herself. I don't know. But the fact that her mother disappeared, I feel like is sort of, now that she's kind of admitted it to herself and moved past it a little bit. I don't know. That's kind of how I took it.
I thought maybe it was just the drugs wearing off. It's the spider venom makes her have the hallucination, right?
Possibly, yeah. But I don't know. I still feel like she maybe feels a little bit better about it now because I feel like otherwise she would have kept hallucinating her. But it is probably from the venom, but I feel like there was more to it than that, or at least I took more out of it than that.
I mean, for sure, AJ, I think we all agree. Like, yes, she feels guilty about her mother's death, and I think it's the spider venom that causes this hallucination. I don't think that she's hallucinating her mother. I don't think snake venom. I don't think like her guilt produces hallucinations.
No, I don't mean it like that. I just mean that I think the fact that the hallucination stopped at that point and that her mother sort of died again was sort of her acceptance of, what had happened and kind of moving through it. Cause I think that she hadn't really talked about it and she finally, kind of said it out loud and that kind of thing. I don't know. That's what I think. And AJ, I know you didn't, I think Karen, I think you had already missed this part. I think you had left at this point, but AJ wasn't there. So I was going to tell you, we did get information. Luke had told us, obviously the voice, the one showrunner had told us that she was actually killed by the deer, not by the car. Like, I mean, obviously the car was because of the deer, but that she was gored by the deer, and that's why she has blood like that. And they created a whole deer that they did not use. So I think
the car hit a deer, and the deer's rat came through the windshield and impaled her.
Yeah, she was impaled by it. That's what I was meaning. I said gored. Impaled is a better word. So technically, I mean, it was the deer that killed her, I guess. I mean, it was still from the wreck, but I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting tidbit, and I kind of would have liked to have seen that. But yeah, it's nice to know sometimes when things are cut what they were. But yeah. But I think, I don't know. I was going to say, I was right about this woman though too, which I think I was the only one that thought she seemed like she was maybe not as adamant and enjoying the torture she was at the beginning, that I kind of wondered if she was starting to move over to their side. I was happy to be right about that.
I mean, I don't know that I ever thought. Yeah, I guess when they were first injecting that first guy with the snake venom, the prisoner,
she seemed to enjoy it a little too much.
Yeah.
Or thought of them, at least didn't think of them as humans that she cared. I mean, I don't know that she enjoyed the training, but yeah, she didn't care about it. And I had said that one scene when we watched, when she was given, whether it was Brody or the other guy, because we went back and forth about that, I don't know. But whenever she was going to give that shot in that episode, that she seemed like maybe it was starting to affect her. So
yeah,
I like that she's sort of the one that helped them out and made the plan come together. Yeah.
Love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah, it's always great when a plan comes together. And then we also have, I think that's, I'm trying to see where I have the wrong pictures. Oh, there's a thing of them trying to figure out if Blaine is guilty. And we kind of talked about that and how May is kind of quick to judge him, which is kind of interesting considering she didn't like when they did that to Jesse, but I don't think it was from a place of, wanting to hurt him or whatever. I think she really believed it. But yeah, we found out that Blaine, maybe he didn't do it. I mean, it seems like, but also he donated that money.
We know Blaine didn't do it.
So,
I mean, I think the twin brother did it. Okay, so I know who did it. I'm not saying I think he did it. I think from what you see on the screen right now, the twin brother would be the guess I would have.
Yes, we need to see his twin. Brent. That's his name. Brant is his name. Brent's brother, Brant.
Brent and Brant?
Is that his name, Brant? Really?
Yeah, that's what Luke's. I don't think it's. There might have been a scene that showed his name. He wasn't sure if it was taken out or not. His name is Brant.
But when a twin is mentioned and never seen, like, obviously, is there an evil twin, right?
Yeah. Well, the fact they mentioned the twin, I think, is what.
Well, Brent was evil.
Yes, it Brent. I always kind of question, like, is it possible that was actually Brant pretending to be Brent? I mean, you can see that a lot of times in TV too.
But he did come and try to kill Dana so then where's Brent?
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I just
in uniform. He came in uniform to the hospital. I mean, I could see a storyline where Brent is covering for his psycho twin murderer brother.
Yeah, maybe. Well, one of them's dead at any rate. Whether it's Brent or Brant, one of them's dead. But I do think the fact that they randomly mentioned he had a twin in that last, I think it was whatever episode it was, 8, I think. Why mention that when he's already dead? There was kind of no point unless they're intending to bring in that actor again to play the twin, which is good because I like that actor. So I think that's cool either way. And that's an assumption. I don't really know. Maybe they just wanted him to have a twin. Maybe somebody on the show has a twin, so they made it up. I don't know.
It twins in the book, but it doesn't mean anything. But it's just all right. Anyway, they're still trying to figure out who killed her, who killed him, and who killed Rose.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big thing still hanging.
We just know it wasn't Blaine is the point.
It appears to not be. Blaine.
Yeah, we should say it appears not.
I've never thought it was Blaine.
Yeah, I know. We've said that. We didn't.
Well, I mean, I think AJ, maybe one reason why you never thought it was Blaine was because it was too obvious that it was Blaine, right? And it's like
that's part of the reason. That's part of the reason.
Also, that he was surprised she was a reviver.
If you're watching Dateline, whoever's the suspect in the first 15 minutes definitely didn't do it because they don't, right?
Well, I mean, aside from the obvious part, you know, he didn't know she was a reviver. If you kill somebody, you know they're a reviver.
Yeah. He didn't know she was a reviver. He thought she didn't know she had been killed, so he didn't kill her, and he didn't kill Rose either. He just
I do think it's the same person. I
mean, he's just an unlikely suspect. I mean, it's all
it doesn't make sense for him to have killed Rose because killing Rose has the same thing as her leaving town.
Obvious.
Yeah.
He would be blamed, so there would be no reason to do that. So then we have
Rhodey comes to the jail cell to apologize.
Comes to the jail cell. Now, I saw this coming, but I was so excited to see it coming when she broke his neck. Like, you could just tell that's where it was going, but I absolutely loved it and wanted her to do that. So I don't know. Did you guys feel like that? I was like, yes, that was just great. I don't know. I thought it was a good scene. I liked it. He kind of deserved it. So
I mean, it was obvious that was coming, I think.
Yeah, right? I knew she was going to snap his neck.
Yeah, but it was still fun to watch. Plus, she didn't really kill him. I mean, she knew he'd come back, but
yeah, well, exactly.
I don't know. I just felt like it was satisfying when she did it, like really satisfying.
Yeah, we had what was a very unsatisfying conversation for me in our other show on the chat about like how could Rhodey have turned her in and why he turned her in, and they're in love, and one person was saying Rhodey is her family and that it wasn't believable, and I'm like, they've been dating for like 2 weeks. You know, like it's 4 weeks since Revival Day, so they've been dating less than 4 weeks, and they're teenagers. And to me, when they tortured him and threatened his family, I believe that he would be like, yes, this is where M is. Yes, you know, that he would have to say. And other people seem to feel really like it not believable because they're so in love and he's her, like, particularly the comment that he's her family. I just wasn't seeing that.
I'm kind of on your side with that. I agree. And I don't want to say I don't blame him. It was still wrong, but I could understand you giving somebody up. And I agree. He doesn't know her that long, but it's TV.
People say anything
one day on TV. So
I think however anybody views a scene and that was their impression, that's valid, that they have one impression, I have a different impression, but I just really didn't agree. EJ, I don't know how you felt about Rhodey giving her up.
I think he's a fucking idiot, and I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. He's a weak person. Yeah. The torture got to him, and simple as that.
Yeah. Yes. Look, which is not to say that you're a weak person if you can't hold up to torture. But
no, you're right.
And like science tells you that people will say when you're torturing people, they'll say anything, right?
Yeah. So it's
right. So he could have lied.
Well, whatever. I mean, people will. Like, I don't really, the condemnation of Rhodey coming out of that chat the other day kind of surprised me.
Yeah, well, I'm more on your side. And I think we all kind of agreed that she might forgive him for what he did, but they're over and they're not going to get back together after that.
I mean, he's kind of a dopey, like, kid. He's a kid, and remember when we first introduced to him, he was like, on stage in his band, and he would like cut his chest with a knife and let it heal, and like his it was a very youthful reaction to being like immortal, right, or being a healer, being a reviver, whereas the adults, their instinct was to hide it. His instinct was to go on stage and show it.
Everybody. Yeah, exactly.
He's a kid. Young. He's a kid. They're like 19. Yeah.
So that's why I said I think that maybe she might eventually forgive him, but I don't think they're going to be hanging out anytime soon.
Yeah.
So then we have okay, that is that. I thought the other thing was with her first. We have the whole thing with Ken and his wife, and him admitting that it was his fault what happened to M, which, you know, she didn't like it, but she didn't really. I mean, she didn't say you shouldn't have done it, or, you know, to try to save me. So, I don't know. But either way, the point of the scene is that they're moving them because obviously this is the catalyst for them finding out everything, and also that Tyler is listening in and finds out, and that is how he, grabs M later. But he comes in and they need to listen, and then they start building their plan of how they are going to force her to, follow their plan to move up the timeline so they can grab them and get them out of there. And I like the way that worked, and how they kind of all had to work together to get them free. Unfortunately, obviously, M did not make it out, but which was kind of the point. But no, that's great. And then I think the other really important scene here, I love this scene, and I know I have it here in my notes exactly what was said, and I'll probably not find it. Yeah. Hold on. Where she takes Lester comes in and says that he was beat up for trying to talk about the reviver. I think he asked about Wanda, I think. Which was the one that Blaine's people killed. And he got beat up because of it from the guards. And I love when she starts yelling at Wayne. And I have a picture here somewhere where she's yelling at him. There we go. Where she's yelling at him, and she tells him that, it's what happens when, you didn't stand up for the people in the town, and you couldn't be bothered to do it until you found out about Martha. And then she says that's not leadership, but cowardice, just like who did that to Lester. I really like that she told him off, because he doesn't get told off enough, and she's totally 100% right. So.
Yeah, that was great when Nell told him off.
Yeah.
She put him in his fucking place.
I mean, he needed to be told it, and also I feel like it was important to say it out loud for people who are maybe not paying close enough attention when they're watching because they're doing whatever else. Like, this is like a main theme of the book and of the show, right? That the way people treating others a certain way until you realize that, they're just like you. Like, it's okay to treat survivors this way because they're others, but then, when it hits close to home, suddenly changing your tune. Like, that's a theme, and that's a theme of, I know, and Luke Boyce has said to us when he was on with us that they did amp up Wayne's aggression and make him a little bit more of a jerk than he is in the book. They amped that up here on the show. But it's a big theme of the book, and it should be a big theme here of that, the speech here. I'm glad they called it out for people who maybe are multitasking when they're watching the show and maybe haven't really needed to underscore it a little bit. Like, this is what the show is about in a lot of ways.
Yeah, do better. That's for sure. But the other big part of that is that she's going to help them get away in the tunnels under the bar. She tells Dana, to bring them her way, which obviously is a big part of it. And then we have the conversation with May, and where Dana tells her about the donation that she tells Dana, about the donation from Blaine.
Yeah.
And that kind of, I guess pushes home the fact that he didn't do it. And she does discuss it with Abraham as well, who kind of says that doesn't make sense. And then they also have that religious conversation here that AJ pointed out, where she I forget exactly how you worded it, but because he's looking at the Quran for answers, and instead of, he thinks it should be science, and she's like, it's a lot of crazy shit going on, so why not, right? And also says that they said they haunt each other, but she hasn't heard her yet. So that's that. And then, whoops, my mouse is not moving. All right, so then the whole plan gets put into action. Oh, we also have this scene here with Aaron's wife, where she tries to talk to
Aaron's wife happens to be the social worker or mental health worker who's working with the revivers in their prison.
Yeah,
she's the only shrink in town.
Apparently, well, it's just 10,000 person town, right?
Yeah, very small town. But I think it definitely shows that M is still in there, still a good person, that she, let that guy go instead of killing him when she could have killed him. And yeah, I said earlier, I like how they, had her see her mother's death whenever she finally admitted it. But yeah, there's a picture there somewhere. But yeah, oh geez, my ears are ringing all of a sudden. Don't know why. But yeah, she let him go and prove that they're not bad, they're not evil, and obviously nobody else.
I don't think that had to be proved to me, though.
No, it didn't. But who knows? Maybe that's being proved to Aaron's wife's name that I never remember her name.
She killed a lot of people when they were held captive, like 3 episodes ago.
But she killed people who had her held captive, who were going to torture her. So
these people had her held captive and were going to torture her.
Yeah, so she had a right to. I mean, not that in real life you can, just kill everybody, but she killed people who were bad and who deserved to be killed.
Okay, but how are these people any different? They're locking up survivors and going to torture them.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that she's showing that she has some humanity, and I'm just saying, like, maybe her, maybe his wife needed to see that. We didn't, but yeah, I don't know. It's just showing that she's still in there, I guess is the way I'm looking at it. Like, she's not just like gone off the rails because of everything. Like like the people think she has.
I mean, I personally think whatever they do while they're on snake venom is not their fault. Like, if she killed all of them, well, you injected her with like hallucinogenic snake venom just to see what would happen. Well, this is what happens.
True. But I don't know. I just think it was to kind of push home the point to them more than to us. But I liked it. And let's see. And then we have the whole scene with Ibrahim and I don't remember this woman's name. But anyway, he gives her the water, and I love, she's like, "What's that?" And he's like, "It's water." So
well, it's the water from the stream.
Yeah, but I mean, it is literally just water. Like, he wasn't lying there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that is what obviously gets them able to get everybody out, that she has to inject them and tells them to, act exactly the same. So that way nobody realizes that it's any different. And then we get with Blaine grabbing Ibrahim and trying to take him, well, not trying to, he does take him hostage. And we have Tyler who lets out M. And then and then this conversation. Okay, so then we also find out about the affair. And like I said earlier, I think that conversation with Dana and Wayne in the car, and kind of, this is why,
well,
why it affected them and why it was important and how they've been blaming themselves.
I mean, it was it was an affair on Diane's part. Wayne and
her father's part too.
Wayne and Patty were separated. He says we were separated.
Yes. They were separated.
Is that in the comic?
I can't remember if they were separated in the comic.
No, I just meant that they had an affair the night Patty died.
Is that in the comic book?
The night of the accident.
That they had an affair the night that they were together the night of the accident. I can't remember.
All right. Well, it's not that.
I can't remember. It's not. It's not. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I think the only important thing is their to me, is their conversation. That, like, Wayne still doesn't get it. She's like, "We've been blaming ourselves, and you were at fault. You weren't there," and he just still doesn't get it. But yeah. So now she has a.
Then you find out that she knew about the affair.
Who, Dana?
Yeah, Dana's like, "I knew."
Well, yeah, she thought she knew. She didn't, but him admitted.
No, she said no. She was berating him for not telling her, and he's like, "Why would I tell you that?" And she's like, "Because I knew."
Yeah. He didn't get it.
I'm gonna not label it an affair if people are separated. Maybe
not. Yeah, but he's sleeping with his best friend's wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were having a relationship.
But that's an offense against his best friend, and that is also Diane making at fault. Right. But I mean, I'm going to say plenty of people who are separated agree to see other people. But the real issue, but I can see how still his girls would see it as an affair and a betrayal. Right. And that they are also like, "Oh, you weren't available to take care of your family because you were with your new girlfriend," or whoever you want to call whatever Diane was to him. It was an affair because Diane and the mayor were not separated, and they were. That was totally an affair on that side of it, at least. Like, that's definitely a lot of betrayal going around. I'm just gonna be less.
Yeah, because we don't know whether wife.
I'm going to be less judgmental about how Patty was involved, but to the girls, it certainly is a betrayal. And like, they wouldn't have been driving if Wayne would have answered the phone. Is right, and now come to find out, like, he couldn't take care of his home family because he was like, I get it.
Getting it on. But yeah, you're right. Patty may have been seeing other people too. For all we know,
I don't know if they were getting it on. They just were together.
Karen, I was joking. I didn't mean it like.
Okay. All right. I'm just feeling a lot of judgment against Wayne for something he.
Right. I said Patty may have been seeing other people too. We really don't know. But the fact is,
fuck Wayne. He's an asshole.
Okay, he's really not. He's not quite this bad in the book. So I have.
I don't care, but like you said, Karen, this is what we've been getting on the screen.
This is on TV, and he's been a total jerk in every single scene that he's been on our television. Yeah. He's not like never once like really been nice. At any
rate, he was still partially responsible. I mean, really, it was nobody's fault. It was an accident.
It's responsible. A deer ran in front of the same deer could have run in front if Wayne was driving. It's nobody. It's the deer's fault. It's the deer's fault.
I said it was an accident, but
the point of it.
Some of the chain of events that led to that.
The point of it is he let his daughters blame themselves instead of saying, you know what, I should have been there.
Yes, he let his daughters blame themselves.
That's the point of it.
Yes,
that's the point. That's Dana's perspective.
Thank you, AJ.
Which is the whole point.
Yep.
All right. So then we get Lester, and they need to listen to Lester more often. That is the moral of the story. Listen to Lester, because they always just kind of don't want to listen to him, and he knows where M is. So they're gonna go to Blaine's father's church and try to get her out. And that is where we leave off with,
So
Blaine may not have killed her, but Blaine is.
This is the episode title.
You're trying to kill her now.
This is the episode title. He says, "You're the mother of Babylon, and I'm going to send you back to hell."
Yeah.
So because Ibrahim makes that connection that Revival Day started because of M. Why he thinks that, I don't exactly get.
Because she's the person who died, the last person to die, right?
Well, no, she's the person that died in the water.
Yeah.
Where
but I think at least how I took it is that he thinks the first person to die because he takes away from what Blaine says is that Blaine left and then like M was not with him when he saw the light. So I assumed that was implying the light came from M, and that's why he thinks she was the first one. At least that's how
she's not the first one to die. She's the last one because it was everybody who had died. Everybody who had died.
The first one to be revived or whatever, I would guess.
No, everybody who had died within 2 weeks was revived.
Yes. So she was the one that caused it to start.
He thinks something about her death might have been a catalyst.
Yeah, because she died in the river. Or the reprieve or whatever the hell that water is.
Took out of what Blaine said, though, that the light came from M is what he's guessing because she had already been not with him when that happened. And that was kind of that part. Yeah. But like I said, Blaine may not have killed her, but he's going to try to send her to hell and kill her now. So
he wants to kill all revivers.
No, I know. I'm just.
So something we always do the week of a show like this before the finale. You two can't play this game because you two know the answer.
Yes. What does AJ?
So I'm gonna play this game by myself because I've been going crazy. I haven't gone this crazy in a long time. Trying to figure out who killed M, like putting all the pieces together with the Black Deer case, everything we know about M, and how they're connected. Why the same person would want to kill two separate entities unless they think that M knows or saw something that pertains to killing Rose 2 years ago. So. And and we're also going off the fact that Jesse thinks that it's the same person that killed, her, all of them. So I have narrowed it down to 4 people. I'm not the motive has got me. There's a part of me that thinks it's I keep going back to Nathea, but I don't. I mean, maybe part of her motive for M could be you're sleeping with my husband, but. Who's Aaron on the phone with all the time then? Because I feel like Aaron's on the phone with whoever is behind everything.
Yeah.
There's the mayor because of the whole land rights and everything. But again, that doesn't make any sense because you need, if she leaves town, then she leaves town, and the rights revert back to the government. There's also,
not to the government, to the tribe.
No, to the government.
Oh, to the government. They remain tribal rights while she stays in town. They go to the government.
Yeah. So her dying doesn't give anybody.
So the whole motive thing, I can't figure out the motive, and and Emma even less. Then there's the person who, I can't figure out the motive behind it, but let's put it this way: if it is somebody out of left field that we haven't even met, it's gonna piss me off. But I feel like it's got to be somebody in town, somebody, I'm assuming somebody that we haven't already, suspected. And this episode, because he is only in and out infrequently, I don't know the motive. I can't wait to find out what it is next week. But Lester. And it wasn't until this episode that Lester even popped in my head. I was like, Lester is everywhere all the time, at the right moment. He was, and it's funny because, what was it, the first or second episode when he called the police to come and investigate what the hell was going on in the woods there? Oh, with the deer or whatever it was.
The horse.
Yeah, the horse. Yeah. I don't know. There's just for this past week, since I watched it on Thursday, was it Thursday I watched it? I've been Revival has been at the forefront of my brain, and I've been going through.
Your list is Aaron's wife, the mayor, Lester,
governor, and the governor.
No, the governor.
The governor.
Yeah,
you mean the female, the woman? Okay, he does mean
the governor. Yeah, isn't she the governor?
Yeah, she is. We just barely see her.
Well, there's a governor, and then there's the general that the governor put in charge. But we only saw the governor.
Yeah, but the general is just a foot soldier.
You think the governor is a suspect in killing M?
That's interesting. I know.
Because I'm trying to. That's the thing, because I'm trying to connect M and Rose.
M and Rose, yeah.
No, that's cool.
M is, but why would Lester be working with Aaron to kidnap Rose? I obviously there's a piece missing.
Maybe he's like Norbert in the Institute, just randomly hanging around the police station at the right moment.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, right. But I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I think I say the mayor, and the governor, but I'm like, I'm a lot stronger on Lester and the wife because it just makes more sense. Again, no motive, but it's just this feeling I get, and
why Rose?
It's funny. I'm actually leaning towards Lester simply because the wife was in the house with Aaron when he was on the phone. I mean, he could have been on the phone with Brent. That's possible.
Yeah.
But if she's the mastermind, why does he need to be all secretive around her? You know what I mean? Unless he doesn't know she's the mastermind. And why is even Aaron involved in the whole Rose thing? I can't wait. All I can say is I can't wait for this coming episode. Yeah, but right now, my money's on Lester, regardless of a.
Okay. We'll have to see how good of a detective AJ is. Yeah. I will say I was surprised when I found out.
I'm probably way off, but that's beside the point.
Welcome.
It's just what's given to me on the screen. It makes the most sense.
Yeah. But I will say I am tomorrow doing a short interview with the showrunner. So that's going to be post finale. That'll be for a post-mortem. So that'll be up after the finale. But yeah.
So AJ.
Yeah.
We also had a long conversation on chat about the creeps, or the angel that Blaine keeps referring to as his angel, and why when we saw the creep go to Jordan and go to Uncle Jesse, is that his name? What was the guy's Rose's father? Jesse. That seemed to be an experience where they were drawn in and peacefully, and even like Ibrahim says, well, no, that was a kind friend. I saw it happen, and that creature was kind. He calls it an alien. That alien was kind, right? Whereas Blaine has video of Wanda like screaming and being killed violently, and also when his minions get that brand mark in their hand. They get like from the angel, right? Like we had a long talk about what that is. Is it the same creature? What are the different, like, what is that all? I don't know. We toss around a lot of theories about that. I know what it is.
Is there a question in there?
Yeah, what do you think that's all about?
I think it's, going on the whole soul idea.
Yeah.
If you're alive, it's obviously not your soul because you're alive. The soul's still in you. So that's why it burns the living. It was pleasant for Jordan and Jesse because that was their soul, or whatever you want to call it, or their alien, their alien caretaker. Whatever it turns out to be. A lot of it has to do with Wanda when she was murdered by it, because she kept saying it's not mine. So
she was saying it's not mine.
She was saying it's not mine. It's so that's why it killed her, because they tried connecting two. It's like taking two pieces of a puzzle and making them go together and ending up ruining the puzzle because they don't belong together.
So your theory is that there are like 34 revivers, so there's 34 creeps out there, and everybody has their own personal.
Yes. Yep. Exactly.
I wonder if it's also partially like maybe she wasn't ready to move on, because we talked about how the creep that went, that Jesse ET'd, that it seemed to lead him to where her body was. So it's like helping them do something they need to do before they can move on. So I kind of wonder if it's also.
It's actually funny. After that, I thought about the whole revival thing about unfinished business. Is why revival thing happened.
Yeah.
Which, with what Ibrahim thinks about M, makes sense, because clearly she has some unfinished business because somebody killed her.
Yeah, except that every person who died in the last 2 weeks woke up. It's not people that just had unfinished business.
Well, right? Yeah, no, I know. That's why. But that's why I kind of do like that whole thing with what Ibrahim's thinking, because for it to be every person in the last 2 weeks has something special. It's got to be. It makes sense that it's one person that, and the side effect was everybody.
Everybody woke up.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Detective AJ. We got one more episode to figure that out. We're gonna find it out next week.
Yes.
And then wait out renewal. All right.
Yeah. And if you want to hear our deep dive into this episode, I was just gonna say with me and Lori, that's Friday at 11. And our watch party is at 9:30 in Discord, which link is in the chat. And I think Luke might even join us for the watch party. So make sure you guys tune into that. All right. So now we have Sandman. Let me switch photos here.
Episode 11, the funeral, and then episode 12 is the bonus episode.
Yes, which I did not see all of the death episode. I ran out of time.
What's the bonus episode? I just love this funeral episode. The episode 11 of Sandman, I thought was just a great episode from start to finish, really. I might have one thing. If there's anything that bothers me about this, it's the Corinthian and Joanna. It just the idea that he has just been this really pushy guy, and he just like harasses her kind of. I mean, it's a harassment. I mean, it's not that he just keeps pushing and pushing until she just gives up and agrees to like be with him or whatever. I know that's like a surface reading of it, like really like, is he her true love? I don't know, but like, I don't love that. But overall, I loved almost everything else about this episode. I really, really liked. I thought it was great. As sad as I was to see Dream go and turn into Daniel, I thought it tied it up nicely.
I have to wonder, as somebody who hasn't read the comics, I kind of wonder if you guys feel differently about the episode because it's something like you wanted to see or whatever. Because to me, not that I didn't like it, I did. But I kind of feel like if we were going to get an 11th episode, I would have liked it to be something else. Like, I feel almost like the episode was a waste of time doing that, spending that much time on the funeral. Like, I get it. And I was very sad because of Dream. I cry easy at stuff. So won't say it wasn't sad. But yeah, I would have liked an episode dealing with other stuff as opposed to the whole thing, almost the whole thing being the funeral. But I don't know. Maybe it's just because I haven't read it.
What other stuff?
I don't know, because I don't know the comic. I'm saying like I would have rather seen like post funeral, but if there's not that much content, then maybe that doesn't happen. I don't know. But I would have even rather seen more with Daniel than seeing a whole episode of the funeral. I don't know. It just to me felt a little bit like a waste of time. Like I said, it's not that I didn't like it. I think it was done really well. It was so much devoted to the funeral. I don't know. That's how I felt. But I haven't read the comics, so.
Interesting.
I mean, I loved the episode. I mean, it's part of. I mean, yeah, it's in the comic, obviously.
But does it go into that much detail with the?
Yep. It's you know, I mean, it's not something you get a lot. You know, usually.
Fair.
You know, I mean, look at the turnout that they have. All the people that Dream has touched in his life that showed up for this. You know,
that. I just don't think we had to hear all their speeches, I guess, is more what
I thought it was awesome. This guy that we spent.
But you know, but that's the thing. Like, I don't want to say preachy because that's not the right word, but it's about looking. It's not just about Dream. It's you know, I mean, the episode's about people in general. You know, I mean, I think the best part of the entire episode is the part with Fiddler Green and Daniel, when he tells Daniel, he's like, I don't want to, I'm dead. Like, why did you bring me back? I'm dead. He's like, what is the point of death and life and death if you can just bring whoever you want back? He's like, you're totally missing the point of all this, and you need to, you know. Obviously, I'm paraphrasing, but that right there in the nutshell is what this entire episode is about. You know.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And as far as the Corinthian and
Joanna.
Yeah, I felt it was a little unneeded. I mean, it was clearly it was rushed because they just met each other. I get what they were trying to do with it, because she makes that throwaway comment to Dream previously about, you gave my ancestor the love of their life and you give me a book.
Yeah.
So I think he took that to heart, and because he's changing and everything, he did that for her.
Yeah. I think the problem is, at least to me maybe, is that there's so much story that has been condensed into these amount of episodes. It feels like, now granted, I haven't read it, but it definitely feels like there's a lot of story that's been in there, a lot of stuff going on. And I guess that's part of the thing, is I feel like there was so much going on, so much stuff they went through so fast, and then like they stopped and took so much time for like this little bit of story. I don't know.
I mean, there's a lot more to the Sandman, right? There's a lot more, but they chose to focus on Dream story.
Yes. Yeah, the stuff we didn't get from the comics, Dream is not a part of. And it doesn't really matter for his story and the generalness of what we got. They actually added some stuff. They actually fleshed out some stuff some more. So
yeah, I mean, I enjoyed this. I didn't feel like this funeral was a waste of my time. I felt like it was the culmination of the entire season, and really the entire 2 seasons.
Yes.
You know, which has been and so this is the show that was escaping me. I said, oh, Resident Alien turned out to be all about love. This show also, in the end,
there you go.
The show is all about love, and Dream learning to love his subjects and to care about humans, and you know, it was the hour entirely focused on how those closest to Dream are affected by his death, but also how Dream's evolution and growth as a person, as an endless, over 2 years, how the changes in him affected changes in those around him, in his brother, in his siblings, in Joanna Constantine, in in everyone. I mean, I just really, I could almost have taken a longer episode, and I mean like 10 minutes longer, not like 2 hours longer, but to me it felt it felt right to me. So maybe Jamie, you these are not beloved characters for a viewer like you.
Yeah, like I said, I just feel like it was so much story that they condensed so much, and then they spent so much time on this one little bit.
Oh.
Like, I would have rather them spent more time on some of the other parts of the story that felt rushed only because they couldn't do as much as they wanted to. And again, I think maybe it's because I haven't read the comics. To me, it just feels like it went really rushed, and then like they took the time and I don't know. Like I said, I know that they like I get what you're saying, and I appreciate that they had the funeral, but I felt like I don't know that we had to see every sibling give their speech. I guess it just felt I don't know. That's just personally. There's other stuff.
And I thought I loved all their speeches, and I thought visually it was fabulous. Also, right?
It was fabulous.
I mean, I loved all those speeches that they made.
Yeah, I didn't dislike it. I just would have liked more of the other parts of the story, I guess. But I don't know the story, so I don't know how important it is as part of the story. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, I'm going to say one more thing and like let AJ chime in also, but I think that really helps to make sense of the main character. Like, if you're going to kill off the main character in the last episode, can be a very divisive thing for even though okay, was he killed off? Like, Dream sacrifices his own life for his child's life, basically, right? It's like the ultimate act of love and self-sacrifice. So it was like but still to like do that and introduce Daniel, like if that had been the last episode last week and now we got Daniel, like I feel like this really was important for
then I would have felt cheated. I'll agree with that.
This is another finale that was more emotional than it was action, and it worked for me, and it doesn't work for everybody. AJ, I mean, I don't know how you felt about it, and I want to ask how you felt about Daniel.
I mean, for me, Daniel was. I loved everything about Daniel because, he's an adult, but he's not. Like, he's technically, he's just like he has some of Dream's memories, but he's still learning. Like the fact that Gilbert had to have that, explained to him that whole thing, just shows, it's going to be trial and error for him. In his heart, he felt he was doing the right thing by bringing certain people back. Like, that's why I loved, what's his face, Melvin. He's like, I like the guy. Of course you like the guy. He brought you back to life. Matthew, who is just adamant that that's not Dream. That's not he's Matthew's very upset by the whole thing.
And lady,
so I like basically seeing that obviously it's over now, but we see the beginnings of what Daniel's going to have to go through, to get and he's going to make mistakes too. It kind of humanizes the whole thing, which is kind of the point.
Let me ask you a question though, because there's one thing that I thought was interesting that I wanted to know more about. What was the part about that there was another despair? I mean, I'm assuming that was something in the comics that we just aren't going to get because it wasn't about Dream, but like that's showing that obviously Dream isn't the only one that's ever changed people.
Yeah.
Yes. So and you don't actually get the whole. You find out about it, but you don't get it in the story.
Okay.
Actually, was her standalone?
I didn't read it. Her standalone.
I'm trying to remember what her standalone story was.
I don't know why, but yeah.
I know it's mentioned, but it's not anything that they cut from the show because it's not in the comic.
Okay, I just was curious because that to me was like, oh, well, that's interesting. So he's, there's two dreams, but there was another despair too. Like it makes it more.
Well, what's hilarious is they're endless, but they're
not really endless. They're only endless because they change, like the Doctor. They become somebody else, right?
Yeah, you go.
I still would have liked to have heard the Delight story. Like that's something to me that I think they could have put in instead. But you're right, it's not Dream. That is true. But like that's something I would be interested in knowing is why Delight became Delirium. And I don't get to know that.
That is her standalone story. So if you wanted, you go out and find that.
Oh, that's cool. I'll have to do that.
I love Jacob Anderson as Daniel.
I thought he did a great job.
I thought he was really well cast. Jamie, you recognize him from Interview with the Vampire?
Yeah, and Doctor Who, and talking to him. Yes. I wish I'd known he was going to be in this. I would have loved to have asked him about it.
He was in Doctor Who.
Yeah, he was. Well, now that you said that, I'm not going to think of his name from the.
His name is Jacob Anderson.
Doctor. Now that you said that, I'm going to blank on his name.
What did he do? Like one episode?
No, he was in like the whole that whole section. And now that you said that, I'm blanking. Hold on, because that's going to drive me nuts.
All right. I thought he was really well used and well cast and well dressed in this episode.
Vinder. That is his name, Vinder.
Oh.
Yeah, he was in the 13th Doctor story. That's why.
I think he's best known from
from Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, yeah. He's best known from Game of Thrones, yeah. All right. So I mean, yeah, there's not a ton to say about it.
Yeah, I know. I took the pictures and I'm thinking there isn't really a lot to go through necessarily to see. Oh, I know what we didn't talk about.
What?
You talked about them coming back to life, but we didn't talk about the brother visiting. And I'm trying to
destruction.
Destiny visiting.
Yeah.
Or not? Yeah. No, destruction. Sorry, I'm calling.
Yeah, destruction comes to visit, which is interesting because he doesn't come to the funeral, which is kind of sad, right? That he comes all that way, doesn't attend the funeral. He's come really just to speak to Daniel, I guess. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was nice that he showed up, but he could have gone in and paid his respects, right?
Yeah, plus his siblings have been wanting to see him and have been missing him.
Which is why he didn't go in there.
He doesn't go inside.
Yeah, it would have made it harder. They would have wanted him to stay. He did make a point, though, of saying that he missed Dream a long time, like that he said something like that he missed Dream he has for a long time or something like that. So, yeah, he misses them too, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't really leave because of them. He left because he couldn't watch he's destruction, and he couldn't watch humans be so destructive. He had that.
Well, it wasn't that he couldn't watch humans be destructive. He couldn't be responsible for the destruction.
That destruction, yeah.
But the destruction's still happening without him, so.
Well, he had that feeling of he had that affection for humans that Dream didn't have at that point. That Death has. And that Dream grew to have, and that, right?
I find it interesting, though, that, like, he really doesn't have to be in his realm. Like, Dream, things would go wrong if there wasn't any Dream. Like, he's not in his realm, and still the humans are destroying themselves. So I don't know what that says, but we don't need destruction to destroy ourselves. I don't know. I just
fair.
Yeah, we don't need any help.
Yeah, we don't. Right, exactly. We don't need any help. And then the other thing that was in here, other than the really cool visuals of him going over.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
Was that supposed to really be his body, or just more like a representation of it? Because obviously it was like a sheet, and then it became his body.
Well, his body's not like a body. He's the god of
Dream,
right? And when he's in his realm, like, is he even having a body? Like, if you go to his realm, you can only go there when you're dreaming, right? His realm is very magical.
Well, either way, it looked very cool. But no, the other part of the story I think that was important we should touch on I have a picture somewhere, is
Lyta
coming to see him. Yeah,
I felt like, what part of it are you not getting? That you've been told multiple times that your baby's not around, you can never have your baby back, and he's not a baby anymore. Like, she's just not getting it. And look, Dream told her when the baby was created, like, you're not going to get to keep this baby. I'm going to come at some point for this baby, right? Like, she's always been unable to, like, accept that, right? Like, she had the baby with, like, the fake Dream husband, right?
Yeah.
Like, she's never really gotten it, and she almost destroyed the dreaming last week out of her rage, and then she has the nerve to show up at the funeral and, like, be like, "Where's my baby?" And everybody's like, "Oh my God, lady, it's not a baby anymore." Right?
Well, I think she had to see it for herself.
She did say up she did show up and say, "Where's Daniel?"
Where's
Yeah,
Daniel?
But I think somebody told her that he's all grown up already.
And I guess there's a lesson there that, like, I mean, the lesson that was shown in the last episode, the previous episode, like, you can exact your revenge all you want, but it's never going to stop that pain that you're always going to have from losing your child, right? Like,
serious helicopter moment.
Yeah, like revenge is a useless action because it doesn't really solve your problem, right?
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, he was compassionate, and I
Well,
like
yeah.
how he's like, you can, I'll still see you in your dreams, and I'll need you, and I'll be here for you. And
Well,
I think was that in the comics? Because I wondered if that
Yes.
was more like a TV show wrap up. Okay, because it seemed to me more like something they might have added, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, the show's been pretty.
Pretty close.
Beats are pretty faithful, yeah.
And then, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Then there was the Shakespeare thing. I didn't quite get the point of this. I don't know. I granted I was rushing through this to try to get everything done before the show, but I don't know. I guess I didn't get the reasoning for this, but maybe I missed something.
Well, it connects.
I get the sort of dream story, like what he was saying. I got that, but I mean,
it's the story of the Tempest,
which is the story that Shakespeare wrote for the Queen Titania of the fairies in that episode, like 3 episodes ago, when they explain how.
Yeah, there was two. Right? He said there was 2 stories he wrote, and the one.
Yeah, the one was Midsummer Night's Dream, and the other was
the fairies.
Yeah,
I didn't realize they were both for the fairies. Well, then what was the point of us seeing this though in his conversation with Dream? I don't know. I missed something there in translation of what the point of this was, like why we needed to see
Shakespeare didn't get it either.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was maybe to use those lines from Shakespeare to try to tell Dream's story. It was an excuse to show Dream to us one more time, maybe. Right?
Well, it was. It's because of the story of the Tempest. I mean, I guess Dream, in essence, is the wizard giving up his power.
Yeah. And so, given that Dream really created Shakespeare, right, and had him write these stories, like Dream kind of foretold his own story almost, right? He rewrote the story.
Yeah.
And real quick, seeing Shakespeare reminds me, and we also see Death go to Hob and ask him if he's still.
Oh yeah, I love that part.
Wants to be immortal, and long story short, he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna stick around some more and see what else happens."
Yeah, that was I like that part.
That must have been in a different order because I know I had that somewhere. But I don't know. Anyway, it's probably one of these really dark ones you can barely see. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like that too. He's like, no, I'm good.
I mean, he was like the one person who really was just considered Dream to be a true friend, right? Yeah. Like a lot of people had really complicated relationships with him, and I
like the other Dream. If you want to talk to somebody, what do you say? Something like, "I'll see you in 100 years" or something like that. That was
yeah.
All right.
The next episode, what's it called? The High Cost of Living?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is, I didn't like this episode.
I did from what I saw. Like I said, I had like 15 minutes left.
Why didn't you like
episode if I stay for the whole thing? That was the only thing I was going to ask is what ruin it or should I cut out right before you get to the end?
No, if you're going to watch it, you can drop. I mean, not a lot happens in it. It goes on.
I don't think it was that much of a surprising end. I mean, I'm guessing she saves him from wanting to kill himself, and that's probably the end.
She doesn't save him from anything. He just
he makes the choice. That was the point. Is that it was true? It was free will. I'm assuming that's all that I missed because I literally had maybe 10 or so minutes.
The whole thing is Death takes a holiday.
Yeah.
So no one can die for that. Nobody can die. Nobody can die that day.
Yeah.
She's a day off. She's not going to take anybody that day. And I mean, what it's really about is her getting one day to live. And so, by the end of it, he decides that he no longer wants to kill himself by the end of that day. But it's Not so much she convinces him as maybe him seeing her so appreciate this one day she gets every 100 years, right? Near the end of it, she says, "Oh, if I could do it forever, I would." Right? If I could live forever, I would. And she's, he doesn't hear her say that. She says that at the end in a coda.
Yeah, and I also think him hearing the conversation from that girl who had been abused, I think was obviously a part of that too, of her saying, pretending she was talking about somebody else, that, she woke up and even after everything that had happened to her, she still was happy to be alive. I think that affected him too.
So what didn't you like about it, Karen?
I mean, I thought it was really very slow. And like, there's a lot of time spent standing around a dance club talking about dancing.
You're not wrong with that, though.
And seemingly going nowhere with that. And I mean, it just seemed to go on and on and on, and not a lot was really happening. And I felt like if you had one day to live every 100 years, like you picked these 3 people to hang out with, I just didn't really. And the part with Mad Tilly looking for her soul didn't make any sense to the last 5. Makes no sense to the last 5 minutes, right?
Right.
In the last, I don't know if you're going to go back and watch it, Jamie. In the last 5 minutes, that makes sense. So I won't say what happens, but I just felt like it was going on, and it could have really been like I was waiting for something more to happen. I mean, I like how it ties up in the end with Death having almost like a monologue explaining to herself why she.
Well, that's the whole.
Yeah,
that's the whole point. Again, it's about humanity.
If I had to hang out with those 3 people in that dance club, I would want to kill myself after about 5 minutes.
Well, but that's the point, though. Her appreciating even being alive for one day,
Yeah. Even with the most annoying people.
That's the whole point. Is just her general wonder of everything, and because again, she adores humanity.
Yeah.
She's in a way she's envious of humanity because humanity has options that she doesn't.
Yeah.
That's why she's granted that one day every 100 years.
This guy, his reasons for wanting to kill himself are very he's like, "Dear ex-girlfriend Sylvie, by the time you read this, I'll be dead. But I want you to know I didn't kill myself because of you."
Yeah, that was.
You suck, buddy. I didn't kill myself because of you. I killed myself because the planet is burning and democracy is dead and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my God, you emo whiner. Not emo really, but I'm like, really? You're going to send that? Of course you're killing yourself because of her. Because of your lost love or whatever. That guy was really, that was terrible.
I thought he was going to end up accidentally dying when he fell with the...
When he almost got shot in the storage room?
No, not just that. Even at the beginning, when he's on the refrigerator and he falls.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was going to be he died and he wasn't supposed to, or was going to die and not supposed to.
Yeah, I know what you
mean. Then you find out nobody can die that day. He should have died. He should have died right there.
He should have died, Yeah, he should have died right then. That probably was how he was going to die.
That's such a senseless way to die, though, when he had been... I mean, not that you don't want somebody to take their own life. I don't.
In an accident?
That's
why it's called an accident.
Yeah.
Every accident is a senseless way to die, right?
That's true. That's true.
Pretty much.
But it's good that he realized it wasn't worth taking his own life.
So AJ, you loved it, but you love it because you love the story in the comics, or you love it because of the end. I mean, the best part of it's the last 10 minutes, right? 5 minutes.
Really liked it.
Yeah, I mean, I love the comic. I thought they took an interesting route with the. I mean, it's essentially the same thing that they did in the show, but it's just it's just I think it's just fun seeing Death experiencing life.
Mm-hmm.
She's they kind of, I mean, I feel like they toned it down a little actually. No, maybe not. They did it in different ways. That's what it is. In the comic, if I remember correctly, she's walking down a street and no, I mean, they kind of did it, but she's a lot more jovial and I think they actually say it in the episode where she said something about the colors or how much more brighter the colors are and everything, which made me think that she sees everything in black and white, maybe because she's death.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah.
But just like I appreciate it's just I was very excited for it because of loving the issue of the comic so much.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a skull on his shirt because I could not that it's important, but I couldn't figure that out. It kind of looked like Dream's mask, and I didn't know if it was supposed to maybe be just like
looks like a light bulb with a smiley face,
or a light bulb or a skull. Yeah. I wasn't entirely sure.
I don't know what it is.
I just wondered because it irritated me.
Well, and that I was interested in like 20 copies of Day of the Triffids lying all over the ground, which was kind of interesting to me. That's a famous like 60s sci-fi movie based on that paperback, and it's about. Have you guys ever seen Day of the Triffids?
No, I've heard of it.
So it's about what happens. I forget what happens. Whether it's like it's post-apocalyptic. I don't know if it's a bomb or if it's a disease. Oh no, I think a comet or an asteroid comes, and almost everybody on Earth is blinded, and so almost all humans are blind, and they're trying to survive. And then these plants like evolve to be these 7-foot tall man-eating plants that can walk and move around and grab you and eat you. And it's about like people trying to, they're called triffids, and it's about people trying to like avoid the triffids and survive from the giant man-eating plants.
And this is a good story.
I mean, it's one of these like B movie science fiction movies from like 1963 or something, right? And so I was like, oh, what? That's the book. And I'm like, why would that book be? And then I Googled it up. I don't know why that book would be significant. I couldn't.
Maybe somebody who works on the show really liked it.
Yeah, and maybe. I mean, except that it's a little bit about a post-up. He's like, "Oh, the planet is dying." I don't really know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
All right. Well, I did like Death. Death was one of my favorite characters in Sandman over the last 2 years.
Yeah, I wish we could
get.
He's
my favorite comic.
It would be nice if we could get more of these individual stories. And I guess that's where I would have rather seen another one of these than so much.
I was really hoping, it's funny when the season started, I was really hoping that that's what like season 3 was going to be. And then they're like, oh yeah, we're done after season 2. And then I was like, ah. And then they're like, however, the 12th episode is Death's episode. I was like, oh yay, at least we get Death's episode. But yeah, I mean, the individual stories are all really great.
Yeah. I mean, I would love a season about Death also, but I don't think anybody's adapting any more of Neil Gaiman's work anytime soon.
Well, I mean, this is the only. Actually, I think there is another standalone story for Death. There is another one. There is another comic for Death.
Yeah, well, I think this is.
I don't remember what that story was though.
Yeah.
I'll have to go read it again.
All right.
But anyway, all right.
I have not seen Star Trek, so I am going to.
All right.
But I will just say before I leave, thank you everybody for coming. We will be back tomorrow night. Scarlett and I are doing our last Sandman deep dive at 11. So it's on an odd night. We usually don't do Wednesdays. But she was nice and was like, I can do tomorrow because I could not do 3 tonight. I was going to go nuts if I had to. So yeah, we wait till tomorrow. But also, I know Muncher was asking in the chat, Scarlett and I are planning to do, and Karen, who's going to come to some of them, are planning to do Alien Earth. We just don't know yet when. So, stay tuned to Discord for that. And yeah, that'll be soon. But we will, in the meantime, see you on Wednesday. And then don't forget Thursday at 11. We're going to have our Wednesday show, but the Wednesday part of it will be a little delayed because we're going to have Scarlett's birthday.
To publish this. This is like hard to follow. It's in Discord. The whole schedule's in Discord, right?
Yeah, it'll be. I'll put up about that. But yeah, but anyway, Thursday is we're gonna talk about or do Scarlett's birthday, and we're gonna have some trivia and stuff from Adam's family and some different monster things. So yeah, make sure you guys come back that day as well.
You're doing Wednesday on Thursday?
Yes, we're doing Wednesday on Thursday. There's a lot on Wednesday. We got to cover it on Thursday, and we will have a watch party for that. Now that we're not doing librarians, that'll be at 9:30. All right. Well, I'll see some of you tomorrow. And thanks, guys. And it's been fun.
Good night, Jamie.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
You'll have to go back to the other background here. gonna say that.
Oh, the 2-person background or just the regular old background?
Well, whatever you want to do. But once I hang up, it's gonna go all
We'll figure it out.
You'll have to do something. Okay. Good night, guys. Bye bye.
Night.
I'll make sure I hit the right thing. I was just thinking I gotta hit goodbye instead of live. Can we do Thursday on Wednesday instead?
Let's do Saturdays on.
Yeah, let's do different days. But yeah.
Let's do Sunday every day of the week.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I agree. I'll be for that. All right. Have a good night, guys.
Night.
Good night. AJ, Star Trek, episode 5. This episode was called Through the Lens of Time, I think.
Yes, it was.
Great episode.
I love this episode. I thought it was really great. I'll tell you though, the way it started out, I said to Artie, I was like, I'm gonna be really pissed if they added Gamble to the cast just for this episode to kill him.
He was in like 2 episodes, right? They added him a little bit earlier.
Added him he's been in a couple episodes.
He's been in a couple. They added him. I appreciated that they added him and like developed
him.
Yeah,
they added him in the premiere.
Yeah. I appreciated that he got in a few episodes before he got they built a little rapport there and a little bit almost of like a fatherly role for Mbenga, kind of, right? Or before they
I think he's more of a mentor.
Yeah, more of a mentor. Certainly. But I appreciate that they didn't have him just show up in one episode only to be killed, as you just said, right? That's basically what you just said. I kind of liked this episode. I liked the mystery, and I liked how this is foreshadowing. So Roger is a legacy character, and we know what happens to him, right? And I liked Chapel's boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
We know this is doomed because we know what happens to him in the original series. Right? You know he's in the you know what happens to him?
Yeah.
So we know that I like how they are using some of these very small characters from the original series to set certain even Pike, right? Pike is in one episode. Captain Pike's in one episode of the original series. Yeah. He's the captain of this ship. I like how they're mining some of that and using some of that to set up these episodes and these story arcs to almost be like writing pre-canon kind of, right?
Yeah.
And I like that this takes place in like an underground alien like civil structure that it's very similar to where they find him in the original series, right? Roger's living in an underground kind of environment that looks like a living room with the robots that he built, right? But I like how this foreshadows a little bit that Roger's like dedicated. There were so many times in this episode where I was like, Roger, you're going to get everybody killed because you're just trying to because science, right? Science. Who cares if we get killed? Or who cares if I get you guys killed, really? He was a little, I don't know. You liked it also, right?
Yeah. I really liked the scene, like when when they're trying to get out of there and they all step through the arch together and they all get split up in 3 different time phases. Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
That was so cool. And I love the fact that her is the one that figured it out. She's like, wait a minute. She's like, we're all in different places, but we're all in the same tablet.
Yeah.
Like we're all in the video. Like something's not right.
Yeah. I think so. Some people didn't like this episode. There's a lot going on in this episode. There are some fans who are not liking some people didn't like the whole thing going on with like Gamble getting his eyes burned out of his head, and then he's like possessed by what's he possessed by? I don't know. And then near the end of the episode, Marie comes in and she's got Gorn DNA, and she reacts to this other guy, right? Like all that was a little cuckoo. and felt like, some people, I didn't mind it. I liked it. And I don't, I didn't mind them.
I loved it.
Back and forth between these two locations. Some people didn't
like
it.
I liked it. You know what I really get a kick out of? I actually said this to Artie while we were watching the episode. I love the fact that a movie from 1970, Jaws came out in 73.
It's 50 years old, 75.
Okay, so Jaws came out in 75. Oh yeah, so am I. Jaws came out in 75, and the amount of times that they have repurposed the most iconic line from that movie when she says, "We're going to need a bigger landing crew."
Oh yeah, yeah. That line it lives on forever. We're going to need a bigger landing crew. Yeah, and then they send down Spock and La'an, right?
Yeah.
To come down, and then they split up. I think, right?
The awkwardness between the four of them is
I know. It's kind of great, right? I think I mean, another thing that some fans are objecting is that this season is like very focused on romance. So you have what's going on with Pike and I forget Marie's last name. What with Chris and Marie, right? Their relationship, and what do you, when your girlfriend gets possessed by the Gorn, like what future do you have? I don't know. We're gonna see. And then we have Chapel and Spock and their romantic travails going on. Now it looks like he and La'an might have a relationship.
Well, it looks like he and Leon are having a fling based on the conversation that Chapel had with Leon.
Oh yeah, because they've agreed like no strings, no nothing,
yeah.
Right? And then you have, I can't figure out if Ortega's brother, his name is Berto, right? Beto? Ortega's brother. The documentary, he and Uhura, I can't tell, okay, there's a little something there, but I can't tell if they're just doing it to irritate Ortegas sometimes, right?
They definitely were at one point.
Yeah.
There's definitely, he definitely likes her. That is for sure.
Yeah.
She was, being a little flirty with him, but she was also flirting with Scotty, and that made him turn red. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Ortegas is grounded in this episode. I mean, if that's a frustration, is that we've had like 2 episodes now where we don't really, they're slow burning whatever's wrong with Ortegas. Whether that's just PTSD, whether she's got a little Gorn baby going on also, because she got stabbed pretty hard, right? Part of her hand got burned off in the Gorn stomach acid, and then she had all that bleeding. We don't know what's up with her, right? That's a slow walk. How do you like Dr. Corby in general? Chapel's boyfriend, fiance.
I mean, right now, he's her boyfriend. He's, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
He doesn't have a lot of personality yet.
No, I mean, I guess they jumped him up a little bit in terms of turns out he's got like a PhD in like ancient alien reincarnation or something like that, right? Like there's a lot of scientific mumbo jumbo about like what he's studying and what's going on in this like temple or whatever that they're in. But I feel like they are playing him like moving toward that sort of obsessive thing that will eventually destroy him.
To be fair, I was all for continuing when they were all like, you know what, we should probably stop and get out of here and regroup. And he's like, no, we need to keep going. And I'm like, yeah, you need to keep going. Like, I want to see what else is in there too. So
yeah.
Speaking of the temple, though, again, when Christine pricks her finger for the blood, to give blood of your own free will. My first thought was, why isn't everybody pricking their finger? Like, why aren't they realizing, we all need to do this? And then, it turned out that that's what they should have done, because she was the key to everything, because nobody else could get through anything without her.
She was literally the key, right? To get through every door. Yeah, to get through every lock. Yeah, why couldn't everybody's like DNA be included there? Yeah.
You know what I thought was when the alien tried to bolt? I was like, great. Here comes Federation. We don't have a, we have an understanding with these people. They don't want to join the Federation, and we just got one of their people killed. Great.
Oh yeah.
This is not going to end well.
First, he like screams, and he screams like evil in like his local language or whatever, right? And they're like, "Oh, let's keep going." And then they get the.
Well, no, by that point, they didn't have a choice because the door closed and shot him.
Oh, they were locked in there. Yeah.
Disintegrated him.
Yeah.
So then, and then on the ship, all the stuff with Gamble. I don't know what, I mean, it's some kind of true evil. Oh, actually, no. You know what the best part about the entire episode, because of this evil, was I forget Carol Kane's character's name.
Helia.
I loved that little monologue she gives at the end about evil. That was so intense and so beautiful. And then she turns to Ortega's brother and is like, you want to do that again? You want to go with that again? And he's like, nope, I got it. And everybody's just like, oh my, like everybody was so intense and on the edge of their seats because of her, like they were, oh. And then she like, and then Pike was just like, oh.
Yeah. She's really, I love her. I love the way they use her for comic relief. That's not, that's just smart and makes sense and plays into the scenes, and it's not, at the character's expense or anything like that, right? She was great in it. Yeah. So by the end of it, so I was kind of bummed that they killed Gamble. I mean, on the one hand, he's not your typical red shirt because he got some time to be introduced and to form a relationship with Mbenga, only to have to be killed in this episode, right? They can't like cure him. They can't separate him from, or basically he's dead and this thing is just inhabiting him, really, right? I think. So I'm sad that so it was surprising, I think, that I thought they might save him. Like, he was a speaking character who was in like 4 episodes. I thought they might save him. But in the end, they have to like beam him. They say they beam him to nowhere. I assume that this being is going to be, it's in the transporter buffer, right?
Yeah. We get that little glitch.
Yeah.
At the end of the episode where it changes language.
Yeah. There's like a ghost in the machine. I mean, given that in season 1, Mbenga kept his daughter in the transporter buffer for like, for like a whole year, a whole season. And also like Dr. Corby's story, where it goes in the original series is he uploads his consciousness to a robot basically in like 1963 Star Trek. Right. And so, I mean, it's like a version of what we see here, like transporting his consciousness into the buffer into a robot. Like, it was nice foreshadowing of where Roger's storyline is going to go eventually. Although he doesn't really, in the original series, he has been missing for 5 years. His science mission was missing for 5 years when they find him on this planet. So I don't know if he like broke up with Chapel before then or what's going to happen with that. But I thought I was not going to. I mean, I wasn't sure I was going to like what they're doing, what they did in episode 1 with like Chapel's like, I'll be back in 3 months. Let's see what happens. Don't wait for me. And she comes back with like a very serious, like, boyfriend. And I was like, what is this show doing? I mean, I know they can't get married, but what is going on? And now I realized who this guy was that they hooked Chapel up with. And I kind of like where they're going with it and being true to Star Trek a little bit, right? Like, Chapel really did have this relationship.
Yeah, they're playing a little fast and loose with some of the stuff, retconning it a little bit, but it's staying close enough that it makes it interesting.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. And I'm sure there are fans of the original series who don't really like this, right? And there's risk of like not being 100% true to like, I mean, they've already played with the Pike storyline. Like, we know how Pike ends up, but they've played with it a little in that he knows it's happening, he foresees it, and he decides not to try to change it, right?
Right. Except it's funny with so many of these characters. We know where they end up.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. Like part of the playing fast and loose with it is in the cage. The episode, the original pilot for Star Trek. Before they changed it to Kirk and everything, and then they turn it into take clips of that and turn it into the menagerie. Spock is the only one that knows him. Uhura doesn't know him. Scotty doesn't know him. So it's been interesting to have these other characters. Chapel doesn't know him. Characters are on Kirk's Enterprise. Kirk didn't know him.
Yeah.
Whereas with this, which it almost leads me to wonder if, like, where they're actually going with it. If they're going to say this is a different timeline.
Well, yeah, and have it be like an alt Enterprise. Yeah, they could definitely do that. So the other thing that's going on in the background is like the Marie Gorn storyline, right? Yeah. And how they're going to resolve her having Gorn cells, Gorn DNA. And she does clearly when she attacks Gamble, that's the Gorn DNA taking over, right? That's like Gorn level instincts taking over. And then they're like, in the next time we see her, she's just like hanging around the ship, right? Like, they don't make her stay in sick bay. They don't like lock her up. Like, because
she kind of snapped back into it as soon as she was out of range of whatever was in Gamble.
So maybe it's good to have her around because she's like an alien detector on the ship, right? Or
she's an evil detector.
Evil detector, yeah. I don't know. We'll see where that goes. She and Pike are ultimately doomed because Pike is doomed, right? And so,
lots of people doomed.
If you don't appear in 1962 on the ship, you're doomed. So I think she might die. I think she could die before the end of the season. I don't know. I've only seen these first 5. I don't get screeners for the back. I did get screeners for the back 5. I haven't watched them. I'm not going to watch them. I'm just going to watch it with you. So I have no idea what's going to happen. But I think maybe she could die. And although they did get renewed for 2 more seasons, but
season and a half.
Season and a half, right? But Pike is a tragic character who's not going to get this maybe. And Melanie Scrofano's in very high demand. Right, she's the lead, number 1 on the call sheet on Revival. Yeah, they don't overlap shooting, but and she can't just be on. You can't have. Let's say she gets 100% cured. She's got to get her own starship. She can only ever be on 2 episodes a season. Right. After this, right? Yeah. Like, they made an excuse to keep her on Pike's ship to explore that storyline, but she can't stay on Pike's ship forever. Either she dies or she gets cured and goes and gets her own ship.
Yeah. Either way. Head now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us.
So 2 shows drop off. So next week we just have Star Trek and Revival season finale, right? But then
there you go. We can dedicate almost a whole episode to Revival.
Yep. And then Revival will drop off. And we're going to start Invasion. I'm going to do the Invasion press tour on Thursday. It's not a press tour. I get 5 minutes with Simon Kinberg, the creator. I'll do a little interview with him.
Yeah, Invasion's tomorrow, isn't it?
It's the 20th. Is it the 14th?
Oh, sorry.
No. I'm due. Thursday is the press tour. Thursday the 14th. I think it comes on the 22nd.
Okay. I knew it was sometime this month.
I think it's the 22nd
not next week, the week after. We're covering it.
If anybody's not watching it, it suddenly shot up to the top 10 on Apple as everybody started rewatching it again to get ready. When the trailer dropped, everybody went back and started watching Invasion and it popped up in the top 10. So we'll start covering that, and then I don't know. We'll see what comes after that. I'm going to Google it right now.
All right.
All right. So that's it for tonight.
that's our show, folks. Thank you all for coming. And if you want to know when you'll see Jamie again, go check her Discord link.
Pretty much every
check
night.
Her calendar because I couldn't tell you Jamie's schedule. But we'll be back Monday night to talk about the Institute, episode 9.
Yep.
Or right? 7.
Yep.
Episode 7.
Episode 7. Yep. Second to last episode.
That show only has 8.
7 of 8. Yep. We're back.
All right.
Okay.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.